guys, welcome back to my channel. A bunch of you have asked me about my Dear Fat Girl series and my Let's Talk About Sex series, and you want to know where they at though. And they're not gone or anything. I have videos planned, but I'm just, I took a little bit of time off there to sort of deal with some things, and yeah, I have some videos planned, but I'll be in and out of town for the next couple of weeks, so I have no, I can't tell you exactly when things are gonna go up. But if you have any, especially any Let's Talk About Sex ones, if you have anything you'd like to see me talk about and cover, let me know in the comments or email me at asksarahvargas@gmail.com. Oh, excuse me. And just let me know what you want to see in the next one, and I can probably film it when I get back from my trip this weekend and have it up for you guys next week. So let me know, whatever topics you want me to cover for that. But this video didn't fit into either one really. So I just wanted to take a second to talk to you guys about something that I've always sort of dealt with, and I know that some of you are dealing with it too, and yeah, just sort of give you my perspective on it, which is what I like to do in my videos. I've always had problems with my partner's exes. Okay, and I know I'm not the only one, but some of them were meddling, and some of them deserved the attention that I had to give them because of the way that they were meddling in my relationship. And that wasn't solely, their fault or their, I guess, it wasn't solely on them, because it was also on my partner at the time, whichever boyfriend, right? Because this has happened multiple times. So it was also the fault of the boyfriend that was continuing to allow that to happen, because the person that you're with can shut down these other people. Because when I'm in a relationship, I have friends, I have guys, whatever, that I can talk to if I want, and if I wanted to go mess with somebody, I could go mess with somebody, you know what I mean? But if I'm in a relationship, I shut that down. I make sure that that's not an option. I make sure that that's not even something that my partner would have to concern himself with, because I make sure to remove that from our situation. And so there were times in the past that these girls were all up in the business, and come to find out it's because, my boyfriend was still fucking them. But I digress. That's not actually the point of this video. But just basically, since I started dating, so I think I was like 16 when I got my first boyfriend, I don't even know. But I was like 16 years old, or 16 or 17, and I'm 26 now, so it's been about 10 years. I'm not in a relationship right now, but basically 10 years of me dating, and I've had a few long-term relationships. And in those relationships, from when I was, in my teens, basically, up through my 20s and whatever, I was always super insecure about the girls that my ex had dated before me. And so it made me insecure in my relationship, because I would compare myself to these other girls, and I would compare myself to see, are they smarter than me? Are they more liked than me? Do they have more followers on Instagram than me, or MySpace back in the day? Are they prettier than me? Are they thinner than me? Do they look better than me? Just generally, whatever, do they have a better job than me? Whatever it was, whatever things that I found to be important in that moment, in that relationship, I would have to compare me and mine versus hers and her. Her and hers. So it's a toxic idea, okay? It's not something that needs to be done. And I know I've thrown this quote out a few times, but it's one of my favorites. And so, comparison is the thief of joy. And I've mentioned it typically in reference to bodies and people comparing body to body. But it's really, it goes across everything, and it works for a lot of different situations. And so comparing yourself to a previous partner of the person that you're with is really not beneficial to you in any way. And I have a lot of you guys emailing me and telling me that, you feel bad or you feel insecure because before your boyfriend was dating you, he was dating someone that you would deem prettier than you, or prettiness and beautiful, blah, blah, blah. That's all really subjective. And so for a lot of it, it's hard for me, it would be hard for any of us to look at our partner's ex and deem them better looking than us. But what we can easily do is deem them thinner than us, smaller than us, more in shape than us. And so a lot of you approach me with that comment basically that, well, my boyfriend, you know, has only dated skinny girls or thin girls or athletic girls or whatever, and that's not me. You know, I'm plus size, or I got a little junk in the trunk, whatever. And so then you feel insecure because you feel like, well, if this is all that he's dated, then why is he with me? He's settling for me, or maybe he doesn't want to be with me, or that's really the body type that he prefers, and that makes you insecure in your relationship. And even if you brought that to his attention and he assured you that, no, you know, I do love the way that you look and I am attracted to you physically, emotionally, sexually, whatever, and you have a problem believing it, like, that happened to me, you do not know how many times, okay? I wasn't one to be like, damn, your ex is prettier than me. Girl, bye. No, you're not. But that was just me having a bit of an ego, but I was able to quickly deem them thinner than me. And then if I was dating a guy, for instance, the last guy that I dated, this didn't happen with him. So I'm happy to say that I have grown a bit, and I've realized that it's utterly pointless to compare yourself to people that your partner has dated. And I'll explain to you in a second why. But my last guy that I was with, we dated for over a year, and I never asked him, what does your other girlfriends look like? With my other guys, I mean, he made it easy because he didn't really have Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that. Like, he's kind of off the grid socially. But I know with my other boyfriends, I was real quick to get up on the Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Let me see who you talking to. Let me see who's tagging you in these photos. Let me see who's liking your photos. Like, let me see. Let me put 2 and 2 and 2 together. Let me creep all the way back 76 weeks back in your timeline. Let me be real careful so I don't accidentally like any of these pictures and you see that I'm a creeping asshole. Like, let me be real slick, okay? And I used to look through everything because I wanted all the information, because I wanted to know everybody that my guy was involved with. And I don't mean sexually involved with or in a relationship with, but I needed to know the down low on all these girls because these hoes ain't loyal, right? And when I say hoes, I am most definitely referring to the men, okay? Girls ain't loyal either. Boys are not loyal either, okay? Like, you can't just trust everybody. And so that was kind of my mentality back then, that I couldn't just go into a relationship trusting this person. That's unheard of, right? I had to assume that they were gonna be lying to me. And so I had to look through all of his junk. And a lot of that had to do with my insecurity in my body and in myself and in my, I don't know, just in my life. And when you become a more secure person, you don't go through life assuming that people are gonna do you dirty and that people are gonna cheat on you, or that, you know, you just don't assume that, or at least I don't assume that. And so back then I was major creeper. You guys know, okay? I know some of you can relate to this because I'm not the first one to do it. I wouldn't be the last one to do it. So anyway, back to my point though. So the last guy that I dated, it was after the breakup with the kid's dad, and I didn't look through anything. Like I said, there wasn't really anything to look through, but I don't think I would have done it anyway. But I never asked him, like, what kind of girls do you date, or, you know, whatever, what's your favorite body type? Like, I never put him in that hole where he had no choice basically to either, you know, I mean, he could tell the truth if the truth was exactly what I was looking to hear, which likely it wasn't, or he would have to lie, and then that would be a bad thing too. But basically, I never felt the need to do that because it was quite obvious that no matter what type of woman he dated before me, or what type of chicks he was in relationships with, or having sex with, or anything, obviously he was interested in me, you know, in that moment and while we were together. I was the type of person he wanted to be with. That's why he was with me. It wasn't because he was settling for me. And even if every girl that he dated before me had been a freaking supermodel or whatever, that didn't mean that he liked me any less. And I guess the point where I started to realize this is because, also, in case you're curious, the girls that he dated before me, the women that he dated before me, he's actually quite a bit older than I am. So the women that he dated before me were more, I believe his words were, and this came up really organically at some point. It wasn't like me trying to figure anything out, but I believe he said they were like an athletic type, which made sense because he was really athletic, and so that was probably something he was sort of naturally just attracted to, and probably something he was exposed to considering he was like in the gym all the time. But Anyway, the point where I realized that you don't have to judge yourself against these people, you don't have to constantly compare yourself, is when I sort of sat back and just thought of it from my point of view. The first guy that I dated was relatively short as far as, you know, the male average height goes. He was definitely on the shorter side. And he was also quite a bit overweight, like hundreds of pounds. And you know, I was attracted to him. I had a lot of fun with him. It was a good time. I mean, I had a fun time dating him, and that was good and great and everything else. And our relationship fizzled out after a few years. I want to say it started over like the MySpace top 8. Like, why is that hoe in your top 8? And then I think he set it to random. You remember when you could set your top 8 to random? And then I'm like, I better be in one of those top 3 spots. I'm not gonna ask for number 1 because I'm not a psycho, but you better let them know you are in a relationship, my friend. So that was insecure 17, 18-year-old Sarah right there. I'm not proud of that. But anyway, and then the next guy I dated after that, he was a Hispanic guy. And then the next guy I dated after that was also relatively short, though taller than the first guy. He was a black guy, and he had very dark skin. And he was very, very, very thin. So he was probably like 130 pounds. I would say he was probably 300 pounds less than the first guy. Okay, and I dated him, and we had a good time, and that was fun. And I mean, they were not the same person at all, okay? And then the next guy that I dated was the kid's dad. And the kid's dad is like 6 feet tall, and he's a black guy. He has light skin. I've shown pictures of him before. When we met, he was pretty thin and very athletic. Like, he had, you know, abs, and his arms were like, you know, yeah. So when we met, that's what he looked like. And I mean, he still looks like that now. He didn't like go, you know, and transform or anything. He just got a few extra pounds. But I think that's because when I met him, he was like 19 years old, and now he's, you know, he's like my age. So we do change, especially guys. Men tend to change a lot in that span. So, you know, that's what he looked like. And then the next guy that I dated, he's like 6'1"-ish. I don't know how much he weighed, probably like 200 pounds, whatever. And he's a white guy. And basically my point here is that these 4 guys did not have a lot in common as far as looks, height, weight, ethnicity, whatever. They really didn't have that much in common, but I didn't compare them all to each other. And while I was with the third guy, I wasn't like, well, he looks way different than the first guy. And when I was with the 4th guy, I didn't compare him to the 3rd guy. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't constantly comparing them, because in my head it was just like, this is who I'm attracted to, this is who I want to spend my time with, this is who I enjoy being with right now, and you know, and I enjoy them and I like them because of X, Y, and Z. And those reasons were typically not because, oh, because he's so tall, or because I love him because he's 5'9". Like, I mean, it was never anything like that. And so you have to understand that the person that's with you is also, if they're a good person and they are, you know, and you are in a good relationship, that person's probably not looking at you like that. Like, well, my new girl, she's 220, but my last girl, she was 160 and she had an ass. Like, he's not looking at you like that, judging you against the previous person. Because, I mean, the reason I'm not with guy number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 is because those relationships didn't work. And so I wasn't looking for the same person, and I'm not looking for the same person even now. And right now I'm not in a relationship with anyone, but I couldn't tell you that the next guy was gonna be black or white or tall or short or thin or fat or athletic or this or that. I couldn't tell you anything. I can tell you he's gonna be a male because I'm not really attracted to females sexually, but I can't tell you anything else, and I'm not looking for anything like that. People are attracted to who they're attracted to. And if you are the first fat girl that your boyfriend has dated, that doesn't mean that he doesn't like you and he's not attracted to you. Also, especially when it comes to weight, you need to remember that it's not always perceived as being okay to be attracted to a plus size girl. So I'm sure, and I want to say this without sounding narcissistic, but I am sure that there have been males attracted to me or my body or my intelligence or whatever, attracted to me generally, who would never approach me or who would never bring that to light, simply because I am plus size, and because a man liking someone who is plus size means that his friends or his family or whatever, they're probably gonna, take the piss, okay? They're probably gonna make fun of him. And that's not something that every guy is secure enough in himself to withstand, basically. So I've dated guys like the kid's dad. We were in a relationship for a long time, and he did get, you know, shit from his friends or his family or whatever, and people did make sly ass little comments about how he likes to date plus size girls, but he was okay with it. You know what I mean? He could take it, he understood, and he didn't give a fuck. And not all guys are like that. Not all guys can just stand up and be like, I like what I like, I don't give a fuck what you like, and I don't give a fuck what you think about what I like, but I like what I like, and this is what I like. So just be mindful of that. And also, if you're dating a younger guys especially are not as prone to being, you know, so secure with themselves that they can just go out and want what they want and get what they want, like what they like. So just be aware of that. Be aware that some guys, it's not you, baby girl, it's not you, it's not your fault that all he dated were thin people or whatever, and now he wants to be with you. It could be that he is truly, genuinely happy with you, and he is very happy with your body, and he's not comparing you to anything else, because clearly what he had is not necessarily what he wants. Because if it was, then he would probably be with one of those people. And I think that's it. I just wanted to prove to you guys that you don't have to compare yourselves to your boyfriend's exes or your girlfriend's exes or whatever. You don't have to compare yourself to anyone that came before you, because right now it's your time, and you don't need to be worried about anyone else that your ex was with. Now, if your ex is still bringing that shit up, and your ex is still, or not your ex, if your partner is still bringing their exes into the picture, and your partner's the one judging you, verbally like letting you know, oh, well, so-and-so looked like this and you don't do that, or you don't look like this, or they did this, da-da-da-da. If your partner's the one doing that, you need to let them know real quick that you didn't approve of that shit, or think twice about that relationship, because nobody should do that, and no one should be comparing their partner to previous partners, but not in a bad way, at least. I mean, I don't think you should really do it, period, but especially not in a negative way. I mean, if you're like, oh, I love how you never lie to me and you love me so much, and my ex used to lie to me all the time, like, that's one thing. Okay, if you're doing it, I guess, with that positive spin on it, but otherwise that shit should not be taking place. So anyway, that's it. I know this is kind of lengthy and babbly and stuff, but I didn't plan to do a video, and I kind of just miss talking to you guys. And yeah, normally I think my video's out before I record, but not today. So anyway, let me know what you think about the whole thing, or if you've ever had any of those insecurities, or you have creeped real hard on someone's Instagram or any other thing, like accidentally liking a picture. Oh my God, death. Anyway, subscribe to my channel if you have not. I'll be back with more videos pretty soon, guys. I'm going out of town for a little while though, so bear with me, be patient. Follow my vlog channel. I update there more often than I update here right now, because it's way easier. But yeah, that's it. I hope that you guys are having a great day, and I will see ya in my next video. Bye, guys.